Okay, everybody, we're live. This is the Purple Smurf, and welcome you to another episode of There Will Be Ink. Got a very special episode today with the creator of the adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, X Farce, Beard Zerker, and many other incredibly funny and witty and amazingly drawn comics. You like my theme song, Don? It's pretty good. I always open my show with a little rap. It's not just a rap, like, a hip hop rap. It's like in the 70s where you just get something off your chest. So,
I like
so
it.
what am I talking about today? I have another guest today, Edward Isvedo.
Edward. Hey, Edward.
Ace.
What's going on, Don?
The Ace. I'm doing well, man. How are you?
Oh, can't complain.
Yeah, excited to hear about his campaign, which just went into its second 30 days. The Ace.
Yeah.
Everybody got to check that out. And let me just say a little bit about the show. This is a drawing show, but I'm not really an artist. I'm a colorist and a writer, but you can't get any attention on social media for writing, so you gotta have the visual medium. So I started coloring, and now I like to show people my half-baked drawings. But I use these drawings because I storyboard all my scripts, and I do character designs of all my characters. So actually I love to draw, and it's a very useful skill. And we're in a comic book creator community where I'm surrounded by people better than me, and there's no better way to grow, right? There's no better way to grow than be surrounded by people better than you. So I really welcome that. There's a lot of very good people out there who will tell you where you can improve and how you can improve. And then the last thing I want to say is that this show is not about trashing or bashing other creators or other comic books. This is the time. The big two are down, DC is down, Marvel is down. The road is ours. The road is ours right now. So you don't have any energy to waste tearing anybody down. Just build your thing and put it in front of the people. That's all we got to do. So the indie comics marketplace, it's never been better. So we're not here to tear anybody down. We're here to boost indie creators. And I have a couple mottos. I say, ignore the haters, support creators. That's a big one. Because when you answer back to haters, you just turn up their microphone. What's the point of that, right? And then another one is like, if you're building your dream, you're on my team. This is the time. I could be working in a deli, I could be working anywhere, but I have a movie in my head, and my comic might be that movie that I want to show the public. And it might never be made into a film, but a comic is a movie for your mind. So for all the people out there who want to do this, want to get into this community, just do it. Don't be afraid. Reach out, find people, connect. This is the time to build it. There's never been a better time. Maybe the better time. I can think of 1 year. Maybe 1986. What do you think, Don? I think this might be the biggest indie boom since 1986.
It could be.
To Don Chin and Edwin Acevedo, bringing my rap to a close. And this is There Will Be Ink. Our topic tonight, if you're drawing along at home or if you're in the chat, is to remix the hamsters. Take the 4 characters from the adolescent black belt hamsters, Bruce, Chuck, Jackie, and Clint, and then switch them up. Make them cowboys, make them anime mecha pilots, make them military G.I. Joe guys, whatever you want to do. Just mix them up into something new. But let's welcome our guest, Don Chin. Don, welcome.
Hey, it's good to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Purple.
Now, are you coming up to the end of X Farce?
Oh, yeah, we are actually. We're on our last day. Tomorrow, Wednesday, will be our final day of the 60-day campaign.
Oh, my gosh. Really? Wow.
Yeah, it went fast.
It went really fast. I guess there was the holidays, right? Did you start in, November or something? Yeah, I guess the holidays.
I did the pre-launch. I have the campaign up for the length that they would allow you to do the pre-launch to get your mailing list up.
Oh, yeah.
And so then you get the warning email that says if you don't launch your campaign in a couple of weeks, you have to start from scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of the kick in the butt we needed. I was waiting really a long time for Rob Willis to give us his variant because we had 3 variants in the campaign, and most comics people kind of knew Rob.
Rob
better than
incredible.
Yeah, so he had a long waiting list and other commitments, so he took a little bit longer, but he finally delivered. And actually have the cover. Let me show it since we are an art show.
Oh yeah, we're very artsy here.
Yeah, we just got it. We just got it in the mail like maybe 2 weeks ago. So he sent it, and I think he lives out in Florida. So yeah, it's super detailed, and it's got all the kind of cool muscle
Oh my God, yeah,
definition, and
Rob Willis. He's amazing.
so
He's on the guy on that very rare kind of Barry Windsor Smith edge, where the more you look into their hatching and textures, the more you see. And
right.
that's the kind of art that just, oh my God, it blows me. All right, you guys, we have another guest coming on to join us. It's the creator of the buckler.
What up? What up, guys?
The party's gonna get started now.
I know. So I was just telling everybody that this is a very chill stream, Mr. Dillard. So you're gonna have to shake things up a little bit,
This is supposed to be high tea, no chill.
Oh man, no man, I'm all chill because I've got kids sleeping in the other room, so I got to be on the super chill. But when my kids wakes up, I'll leave you guys in charge, and I'm sure nothing inappropriate will take place. I'm confident of that.
I have inappropriate photographs right here, ready to show the camera.
Oh my God! So you guys, Don was talking about when the crowdfunding site Indiegogo says, you've had your pre-launch for so many months, and if you don't act now, you're going to lose everything, right? And that was your motivation to jump in, right?
Yeah. And so, it's my first crowdfunding, and this was the kind of learning curve for us. And I haven't been in the business for close to 15 years, so just trying to learn this thing, as all of us are. And is this your first book, Purple?
Oh, 100%. 100%. I've been watching this thing go down for 4.5 years. I've been watching this thing since before, before Cyberfrog was announced, before Blood Honey was announced. And so I've observed a lot, I've seen a lot, and I got so inspired by so many people, there's so many creators here. When you see somebody have a dream and build it and make it real, is there anything more inspiring than that? It's fantastic. So
wait, do you predate me in CG?
I don't know. Well, I'm just a guy on Twitter. I'm just a Smurf. What do I know? But I've been around watching because I had a different account back then. So
hold on a second.
I've been watching a long time. The Smurf has only existed since a couple years, 2.5 years maybe. But anyway, I've been watching a long time, and I just think it's an amazing thing. Words were said in the past, such as YBZ says the industry is going to collapse, and that's easy to say that, right? But then it did. So there you go. It's like time to stop fighting and time to start building.
Got right now. You're talking about your boys.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like this is my mantra for everybody. Stop fighting. Stop #wars. Stop fighting. Build it now. The big two are down. The road is yours. The only energy you need to spend is to build your thing and put it out, man, because this is the time. It's never been a better time, I guess, except 1986. So I was telling Edwin before we came on that I was 11 in 1986, and I bought the Adolescent Radioactive Black Belt Hamsters right off the rack. Bought it right off the rack. And I also bought Boris the Bear. I don't know. I never hear anybody talk about Boris the Bear, but Boris the Bear was a great book in that same year, 86. It was also a comedy book. Do you ever read that, Mr. Dillard Draws?
No, I've never read Boris the Bear, nor have I heard of it.
You can imagine what Dark Horse was in 1986, okay? Dark Horse was actually an indie publisher, like indie publisher.
In 1986, I was 2 years old.
Oh my gosh, I'm old. But the Smurfs, we have long life. So anyway, Boris the Bear is this book about like a little teddy bear, and he was really sarcastic, and he loved to fire guns, and they would just have him walk into situations that were kind of cliches of comic books and just shoot everything up and make sarcastic comments. It was really funny. And I have one where he it's called Boris hates robots, and so he goes to a convention of robots, and they have all the mecha from Robotech and Gundam there, and he just complains and gets all the robots angry. So then they all come after him, and then the majority of the book is him like battling all these robots. It's hilarious. So 1986 indie was like Hamsters. The Turtles had not gone mainstream. The Turtles was an incredibly violent book. It was the first comic book I ever saw where someone would take a sword across the chest and the blood would spatter across the wall, and in the next panel they still had the wound. That never happened in Marvel Comics. In Marvel Comics you hit someone with Thor's hammer and they just fall down. So people give the Turtles a rap, but if you haven't read the first 10 issues, it's insanely violent, and it was like nothing else that was on the market back then. So anyway, I'm old, and Don, I never thought I'd be talking to you, so this is fantastic. Let's get everybody a quick sort of check-in where you guys are on in your campaigns, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to draw. Don, are you actually going to draw?
Don left.
That guy left. He probably had.
What the heck?
I know some guessed.
I'm trying to find my pen so that I can
All right.
participate in this drawing.
All right. Well, Mr. Dillard, what are you gonna actually? What's your concept? And I'll tell you my concept for how
Oh,
you're
I
gonna.
didn't have a. I had an idea for a
What's your
concept,
idea?
right?
Well, let's see.
Well, my idea. See it? No, I don't
Well, let's
pre-plan
hear it.
things.
Let's hear it.
Oh, no, I was gonna do a. I was gonna do one of the. You know, the little packet you sent me of information. I was
Sure.
gonna do one of them as a mech, right? But it was gonna be a mech, but he was gonna be in the background, and there was gonna be a big flurry in the foreground of energy, like kind of like tornadoing up as one of the other guys, anime style, was going up to fight the mech.
Cool.
I'm not gonna do. I don't think I have time to do that.
No, that's pretty elaborate. But
We'll see. I might do that. I don't know.
You know, you could do like the group shot, like where they have the giant robot, and then the three kids underneath it, and one is jumping the air and pumping the fist. You know that.
Well,
classic.
I wanted to do it. I wanted to do it kind of like Ginyu Force poses. You know what I mean?
I bet you could do it. Like, you know, the sun is setting and the giant robot, and then the three kids are like only as size as the robot's like half of its foot, and they're jumping up and cheering, and it freeze frames, and then they roll credits. Like, you know, you could probably.
I just found my pen. Give me a second.
All right, we'll get to work. Mine is going to be. I'm actually going to draw them as the X-Men. So Clint is going to be Cyclops, Jackie and Bruce will be Colossus and Nightcrawler, and Chuck will be Wolverine. So that's my concept. All right. So while we've done that, let's talk to Edwin the Ace. So Edwin, you just went into your extended. So you're in your next 30 days. Why don't you pitch us the book? Tell everybody in the audience why they should back it, what's new, and tell us about the Ace.
Yeah, so the Ace is the story of young David Diaz. He's just turned 21 years old. He's working at a regular job, just out of college, and he's trying to find his purpose in life. In David's world, there are no superheroes, there are no aliens. It's a very normal, average world. And then one day, by happenstance, he sees a shooting star crash land in a park nearby. So he goes to check out the wreckage, and he finds something there that gives him the ability to transform into this armored being, which he calls the Ace. And the main story takes place 6 months after he's had the armor, when Akula, this alien bounty hunter shark from the other side of the universe, shows up at his front door looking to take the armor for himself. So that is the Ace Volume 1. And yeah, we did just extend it overnight, an extra 30 days. So, we crossed the $4,500 goal. I don't know if you can see Don Chin. He says that he's rebooting his computer, so he should be back in a bit.
His credit is good with us. Don, you're all good. Just come on back when you're ready. So yeah, you're in your second 30 days. What was your initial goal?
That's 3,500.
And can you say with that, whatever confidence you want or discretion you want, how did you pick that number?
It's a different. Just watching different campaigns, seeing kind of what the average goal was, what first time kind of campaigns brought in, what was feasible. Yeah. As far as like the page count and everything. So.
Yeah. Because I'm about to wade into those waters, and I'm thinking about one lesson I've learned is that it's really good to hit your goal on the first day. You know what I mean? Or within the first day.
You can do that. It's great. Yeah.
If you set a pretty modest goal and hit it, you've got 30 days to just improve, as opposed to like setting a goal that is your dream. But if you don't get that push on the first day, it just seems to get farther away, So yeah, it's interesting. I'd also like to hear from you, Mr. Dillard, about, your thoughts. Is the Buckler your first public crowdfund?
Yes, it is.
And you seem to have some great success, I thought it went really well. You got a lot of visibility, and it had enough of a distinctive attitude and personality to really stand out, I thought.
I think so, too. I think that helped a lot. I don't think that much of what I did strategy-wise did anything, to be honest.
All right.
I think
the
that
people that were going to do it did it.
Yeah. I think the only real big difference for my campaign was that I got a pretty decent push from Malin.
Oh, that's great.
He was actually able to have me on just me, him, and Kyung Lee.
Oh
and
wow,
for a
that's
full
great.
hour. You know what I mean? So, and
Yeah.
that actually did help. And it was right in the middle of the campaign. So,
Oh, that's a
you know, like
great.
strangely, my campaign was kind of like flipped upside down because I made the majority of my money in the middle of the campaign.
Oh wow, wow, yeah, that's unusual.
So, you know, it's and I think that what I presented looked really good.
Yep.
So it helped in the sense that I could harass people to promote it or push it, and they wouldn't feel bad pushing it,
Right.
even if they didn't know me.
Yep.
They wouldn't be like, oh well, you know, I'm pushing something that may or may not be good. It had the appearances of being good, so for all intents and purposes, they had you know, they had an out. If it ends up being not good, you know, they could say,
They can
you know,
say.
from what I saw, it looked good. You know.
Yep. 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 Well, I feel like that's kind of important. Your art has to sell the concept, 100%. And it, like I said about being a writer on social media, nobody cares about a writer. They want to see the pictures, and so that's it. It's a visual
You see,
medium.
I just had a contest for writers that just ended, and like barely anybody submitted anything.
Yeah, it's wacky because there's so many writers, and I'm one. 100% writing is my number one thing. More than coloring and more than drawing. But yeah, you can't get any attention about that. And I think writers often
Have you
just
guys ever bought any of these fractional gold pieces?
wait. A fractional gold piece? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I collect these, right?
Okay, so what
And
are they?
they're like I buy 1/10 ounce and 1 gram gold pieces,
Nice. Nice.
and they always come in these packets, right? And I can't seem to find any kind of consensus anywhere, but they always come like this with the top peeling, the sides peeling. They look like garbage.
Oh.
Now you can pull this off,
Mm-hmm.
right? And now the card looks primo. It looks not look how shiny that is, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
And it's
yeah.
inside of a little blister case. It's 1 gram of fine gold. You know what I mean? But
Yep.
24 karat pure or 999 pure.
Wow.
But I don't know if you take this protective thing off, does that like devalue this?
No, it can't.
I don't think it would because it's still in the blister pack. You know what I mean?
A couple years ago, we got a new fridge, and it came in this blue saran wrap,
Mhm.
so it wouldn't get scratched on the truck. We just left that sucker with the blue saran wrap for like a year. So
I actually did. I actually finally took off the bottom layer off the TV that I got 2 years ago.
Right. So I think it's that stuff is meant to take the abuse, right? So you leave that stuff on there so that when you're handling it and you drop it, that stuff absorbs all the scuff and looks terrible.
Yeah.
And then
So
if you ever want to sell it, you could just suddenly unwrap it and have this pristine object. I think that's the concept.
it's like,
Is
it looks brand new. The ice maker don't work.
So I think the concept is that they want that on there to take the abuse. The same way cars are made out of plastic now, so that when they
Okay.
crash, they just fold.
Because what I did, because these are kind of new, right? They have this new thing called Veriscan,
Mhm.
where you can scan it on the back, and it could take you directly to the website, and it will tell you when it was produced and all that stuff, right?
Oh my
So,
God.
like to show you that it's authentic, you don't need to go and take it out and test it.
Mhm.
But those are kind of new because I have some of these that are older that don't have
They
that.
don't have the VeriSign yet.
Right. So what I did was I ordered this case. It's a case from a company called Valcambi. They make gold as well. But they have these things called combi bars. They're 1 gram, tiny little bars. But they're kind of odd shaped. But they do make a variation of the card. And the thing that's cool about it, it's a card about this size, like a credit card, right? But the top it's made of aluminum on the bottom, all black, anodized aluminum.
Mm-hmm.
And the top has a plastic that you slide out. And inside of the
There
card
you go.
is embedded 12 small, almost like a velveteen style spaces where you can put, because I don't like the combi bar gold. It just says like gold on it and it looks terrible. This is beautiful. Like the Pamp Suisse, they're gorgeous. Like this, like if you can see that,
That's pretty nice.
like this is, look how big my finger is compared to this. Like this is gorgeous, which is why I like these more. I like this this mint a lot better. So, but the thing is, they don't make a lot of accessories for it. So I gotta kind of, I when I collect things, I like to make sure that everything has a place and everything's in its place.
Mhm. That's funny. It would be a fun topic too to talk about different creators and if they have like collecting obsessions and what they are collecting obsessions you wouldn't expect. Because I bet so many of us do. It
Oh
might
yeah.
not
Well,
have
I
anything to
think
do
the
with.
first thing I ever started collecting was rocks and minerals
Mhm.
when I was real little.
All right, so let's get back to the ace for a little bit though, and then we'll talk to Buckler. So, you got your number, your initial, target price, just looking at what other first-time creators were doing, and and you hit that right away, right, Edwin?
It did. Well, we got funded in 8 days.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's it. If you got it in 1 day, 8 days, you got it. Unless you're Dillard, in which everything happens backwards, you have your biggest payday in the middle, which
Well,
nobody
I
ever.
I set my goal at 500,
Yo, see, now you and me are on the same wavelength.
so
I'm thinking
I made
about
it the first day, but
That's
it was
exactly what I'm going
500.
to do. I think I'm going to set my goal at 750. I'm going to be bold, but I think we can cut
Oh,
750.
I think Don's back.
Oh, good. Let's get him back. I usually hear a little signal when somebody comes back. All right. Yeah, I think that's really smart, Mr. Dillard, because it's like when no one's heard of you, like no one's heard of you,
Mm.
you can't be going, oh, I'm going to make 20 grand on this. I'm going to make 12 grand. You might not make 800 bucks on this. Like
Right?
literally no one has heard of you. So keep your head, on your shoulders and your feet on the ground if it's your first campaign. But, I was saying to Edwin a little earlier that, the new crop of first time creators that's coming around now, if we just deliver what we say, fulfill, keep good relationships with customers, imagine how we could grow. But it doesn't happen in 1 year. It's going to take time. People have to believe in you. They have to believe that they know what you're about. They know what you're going to deliver, and they know that your product is going to be entertaining. And yeah, I mean, so it's going to take time, but I'm excited for all the different writers and artists that are just coming out. A lot of campaigns just launched like a week ago. And yeah, you could say that it's saturated, but who cares? Nobody needs to make the big money this time. We all just need to prove that we can fulfill. That's the best thing of all, is you prove that when the people believe in you, you deliver something great, and then you're ready for round two. So it turns out, Don, that some of these people weren't really all that into the comic book scene in 1986. I'm feeling old. Turns out that Mr. Dillard was only 2 years old in 1986.
I was going goo goo for my binky.
He was
In
going Google
1980.
for his binky in 1986. I was one of those kids that I was a total nerd. I know that's hard to believe because I'm so suave now, but I was the biggest nerd in the universe. So when I was into comics and that I was just like in my own planet. But luckily, for whatever reason, the force was with me. That summer I met Eastman and Laird, and I got their autograph. I still have it. I got a
Really?
poster, a book, and a T-shirt autographed by them. So
Nice.
it's crazy.
Are you an
Crazy
East
how
Coast
that-
guy?
Yeah. I live in the
Yeah.
Boston area.
Okay. Yeah, they're from Massachusetts, right?
Yeah, I forget. Maine, New Hampshire, somewhere around here. I
Yeah.
forget. New Hampshire, maybe. But yeah, definitely New England. You could see them when they first come on the convention scene in New England. They were just, photocopying those things at first.
Yeah.
They had
Did
no
you
idea.
ever meet New England comics like Ben Edlund and the Tick?
No.
Yeah.
No, my claim to fame is I met Eastman and Laird, and also I got the autographs of all the New Kids on the Block. So
I thought that the Tick started off as like a car dealership mascot. Did he start off as a comic book?
I didn't know.
Yeah, I think he was back in the 90s and New England comics. They did it kind of like an oversized comic book format originally, and then he got picked up to be a cartoon and then the live action. And hey, Ray Thulu.
Oh yeah, hey, good to have you, Ray. Just a bunch of nerds. Just a bunch of nerds drawing and talking. So let's talk about our concepts, because Don, you were off there. My concept is I'm drawing the Hamsters as the X-Men.
Awesome.
So Chuck has the visor, so he's gonna. No, I'm sorry. Clint has the visor, so he's gonna be Cyclops, right?
Nice.
And then I'm doing Jackie and Bruce as Colossus and Nightcrawler, and then I'm gonna do Chuck as Wolverine because he's got the kind of the more flowing locks.
In the in the 9-issue run that we did of the Hamsters with Eclipse, Sam Keith came on like after issue 6, and I kind of wanted him to go into a more superhero vein. So there's a panel where Clint actually shoots a laser visor out of his a beam out of his visor to incapacitate a floating robot drone. And I think I said there was a caption and it says like this is Marvel's lawyers. We're gonna sue your pants off.
I know,
but
oh my gosh,
but I would have loved to like bring them back as as superheroes.
Well, Dynamite has the rights, right?
Yeah,
So
they have the rights
it could
now.
happen. It could happen.
It could.
It seems to me that Dynamite will do something if they think it'll sell, right?
Yeah,
So,
I think it's about
I think
right.
if the
I'd like
Hamsters
to
coming back with a superhero with a good creative team could be really fun. But to capture the humor, though, that's the thing. Like, the old saying, comedy is hard, right?
Yeah,
comedy is hard. Like, even a person who's funny, if you tell them, okay, be funny now, that's hard.
Right.
It's like, oh, my friend, he's really funny. Listen, and then your friend's like, So that's
I
the
went
thing
to
about
when I was in high school, there was these little service groups. You guys probably remember, like Key Club and the Rotary Club. So that you would basically, if you were involved in these, you would go off and do good things, in your community. But there was a Key Club gathering, like a Northern California one. And so all the Key Clubs from different high schools gathered like for a camping weekend. And I met this guy named Steve Bruner at one of these Kiwanis, high school things. And this guy was so funny. And I was just in the process of doing my comics back in high school. I did a fanzine called Overload. And I thought, this guy would be great. He's just like, I've never met a funnier guy in my life. And so I kept in touch with him. And I asked him to write me a script, but he really wasn't a comic book guy. He was more of a just a guy that you would talk with, and he'd just make you, split your gut. Exactly. But he wasn't really. He really didn't have the writing skill to do comics, so we didn't really do anything with his stuff. And lo and behold, like just 4 months ago, I get this Facebook message. And he goes, hey, is this the Don Chin that, grew up in Northern California that, that might have been in this Key Club thing? And I say, oh, yeah, that's me. And he goes, well, this is Steve. I'm the guy that you met and you sent me some of your comic books and, we kind of lost touch. And I said, that's so cool that you remembered me because this is like, I went to high school like in the 80s. So I'm an old dude. I hadn't heard from this guy like in 40 years. And so he writes me and I go, what do you do for a living now? He goes, well, I'm a stand-up comedian. And I went, you are? And he goes, yeah, I've got, if you look me up on YouTube on Dry Bar Comedy, I have like 700,000 views on my stand-up comedy. And I went, wow. So I went to on Dry Bar Comedy, if you type in Steven Bruner, he's got all these different sketches that he does and a DVD, and he sent me a signed DVD of his stand-up. It is really funny. He's kind of a clean comedian, not too edgy, but he's for a. Like no, I think he would. I think Dylan. He's a
I'm looking up.
guy.
You said his name was Stephen Brewer. I'm looking it up right now.
Bruner.
Apparently, he's an American politician.
Bruner. Bruner.
It's
but
German.
I also like Jim Brewer. You probably like Jim Brewer, right? Right, John?
I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Yeah, he's a comedian, right?
Go boy. You like Jim Brewer, man. He's really funny.
What is he in?
Diller's too busy collecting rocks and minerals to worry about comedians.
Did you ever see the movie Half Baked with Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was the guy that looked stoned. Jim Brewer. He always looks stoned all the time.
I know who you're talking about now.
That doesn't narrow it down much in the movie Half Baked, does it? I mean,
he was like the real stupid one.
Yeah. Kind of big eyes and his hair kind of.
Yeah. No, I actually seen him tell like the funniest. Like I have my favorite comedian in the whole world, is Norm Macdonald.
Oh, he's
And-
hilarious.
He was funny.
And I was listening, and that guy, that's the guy. He was telling a story about like a Norm Macdonald story. Where they had, I guess apparently
I know what
Norm.
you're talking about.
Yeah, apparently Norm was going to be like he was going to play the guy that does the Twilight Zone. What's the guy's name?
Rod Serling.
Rod
Yeah,
Serling.
he was gonna be Rod Serling or whatever, and I guess Chris Kattan was giving him a lot of crap because at the time, Norm could do no wrong. He was the head honcho. He did the Weekend Update. He was the guy on the show, so he would never take anything seriously. He would go to dress rehearsal and not be in character, just whatever. Okay, it's gonna go like this. And the whole time, Chris Kattan, he was always like, because Chris Kattan is super flamboyant. Everybody thinks he's gay. He would always go over the top. Because every time they would have a girl on, like a hot girl, Chris Kattan would submit a bunch of sketches because they have to write their own sketches. He would submit a bunch of sketches wherever he was making out with the girl in the sketches and stuff like that. So he was giving Norm a hard time, like, "What are you doing? You don't even sound like him. You're gonna ruin. This is my only sketch in the whole show, and all this stuff." And he was giving him a hard time, and I guess Brewer was like sitting back, like, "Are you gonna get him back, Norm? Like he's talking all kinds of trash," and Norm just kind of taking it easy and not really getting into character. And they did I guess they do right before the show starts. They do a live taping in case somebody tanks. They can go to the pre-recorded, and during the live the taping of it, he didn't do it either. He was just like, "Imagine, if you will, a time and place." And then, so when they cut after that, so Chris is giving him a hard time. "What are you doing?" And the whole time he's telling Pamela Anderson, who was the guest that day, like, "Oh, you're so hot. We should go party,
Oh my God.
And I guess they were going to do it. They were about to go live on they were saying 25 minutes till the Twilight Zone sketch, and then Chris is giving Norm a hard time, but now they're all on hot mics. The whole crowd can hear everything, and he's talking all kinds of trash to Norm, saying he's going to ruin his career and all this stuff. And like, I guess apparently 10 seconds before they went live, Norm like turns to Pamela and he's like, "Hey, did you know that Chris is like super gay, and that's why he's always really mad because he got all this pent up gayness and he loves the penis?" And like everybody started laughing. Like they were like 5 seconds till live, and he's like, "Yeah, he's so gay. All he talks about penises all the time. It's gay. Everything's gay." And then like he's like "We're live," and then Norm like turns to the camera and goes, "Imagine, if you will," like all super pro. And apparently like Kattan like fell apart during the sketch. It was great.
Oh man,
Live
That's pretty
TV.
funny.
Live TV. Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Norm Macdonald.
Edwin, I was
You
going to
go ahead.
ask Edwin, is he drawing tonight, or are you just hanging out?
he
Edwin?
says he's a writer, which I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Who's writes?
Ah.
What do you mean?
Like,
writer?
Dillard knows how to draw.
Oh, he's drawing. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, John. What are you drawing?
I'm drawing radioactive adolescent teenage black belt hamsters.
Yeah, but what are you gonna do to them?
I'm gonna do a photorealistic drawing. It's gonna be it's gonna be Clint.
biologically accurate.
Yes,
Awesome.
everything. It's gonna be a photo. It's gonna be a tour de force.
It's gonna be like
Awesome.
naturalism.
And it's gonna be one of the hamsters in the pose, the famous pose with the 3 scratches of Bruce Lee.
Oh, nice.
That
Clint,
sounds
Clint is my spirit animal.
Yeah, they are all pretty hilarious. Yeah, comedy is hard. When I started to hear about you now in this contemporary iteration, Don, I found out that you started with Cracked. That just made all the sense in the world. I was like, yep, that's it.
Yeah.
Because if you have
Yeah.
that comedy sort of thing, really, in a way, it can't be taught. So if you had that beginning, it made sense where you ended up,
Yeah, thanks, bud. That's a
And
good.
it's, because if you'd say, "Oh, I'm," like I said, it's that exact same thing. "Oh, I'm really funny," or "Really draw me something that makes me laugh." Oh, it's like, oh, it's easy to say you're funny, but you got to do it. You got to put it on the page. And I think that, the X-Farce thing, it's like that. It's like, oh yeah, it's gonna be like the X-Men, but it's like a joke. But then when everybody who sees your stuff goes, "No, wait, that's actually funny." Wait, no, that's actually, you know what I mean? Like, it's when you see it done well, it's a whole other thing.
Thank
So,
you.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
just awesome. It's just awesome. And then you're gonna go after Keanu and the Beard Zerker, right? You're gonna get the Keanu money. The big
Yeah,
Keanu
yeah.
money.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy that the trailer on that turned out pretty well. We had a voice actor on it. John, have you seen the Beard Zerker trailer yet?
I have not seen it. I would
Yeah,
love to
it's
see
on-
it if you have it ready.
Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we'll share some trailers. 'Cause I got something to promote too. My book's launching Thursday. But when I'm on this show, I'm like it's just so fun to hang out with creative people that I forget to like pump my book. But anyway, yeah, let's see the Beard Zerker trailer. Can you share that?
Yeah. Let me share
I
my
mean, your
screen here.
X Farce one with this Patrick Stewart voice. That just slayed
Yeah, that one's a good.
That's slayed from the beginning.
good.
I'm Dr. Charles Xavier. I run a school for gifted mutants. Like as soon as the voice comes on, you're just dying.
Oh, you're pretty good at Patrick Stewart too. I should have hired you.
Yeah, I'm pretty good actually. I can do voices. Dillard's good too. Dillard's doing a little voice project for me. Shh, top secret.
I'm a professional voice actor. Did you know that, Don Chin?
Oh, that's true. I actually paid him.
Wow.
I believe
that
it.
makes you a pro. But
I went pro.
But just listening to him, doesn't Dillard have the most like resonant and cool, scratchy voice?
He does.
Doesn't he?
Scratchy. I drink a lot of warm tea to get
Very
some
manly.
scratching.
And cigars.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Dillard's a man of many talents.
Yeah. Well, we're always going to remember the time Dillard came out because the first thing he did was flex his gold, and then the next thing he did was, oh man,
it's 1 gram.
he's like, dude, I have a 10, I have a,
He's like, guys, I don't want to brag, but
I don't wanna brag,
I buy gold all the time. It's
Oh,
just
good.
like it's what I do. Don't
Oh, really?
no
That's
big
awesome.
deal.
No, I think that whole thing, with like physical and everything, it's
Well, because I don't collect mainly gold. Mainly it's silver.
Oh, silver,
silver.
Because
is what we
silver's
have.
cheaper and I can buy more of it. Like this is about what I can afford. This tiny gram of gold.
But it's like a wad of ones, right? You gotta brandish it with a lot of swag.
Yeah.
This is my wad of ones.
And I take all these cards and put a rubber band around them.
Yeah, totally. All right, so let's enjoy the Beard Zerker trailer. This is cool.
All right, here we go.
Comics are totally awesome.
Let me start that over here.
Comics are totally awesome. And I'm totally awesome too. Beard Zerker has everything you want from a comic book. It's got great drawings, colors, great story. It's got great action, has a little romance, and it's about something. Not just any something. It's a parody of some thing. And I was like, well, I used to collect and I love comic books. And they were like, so, did you ever want to make a comic book? And I was like, yeah. And then Parody Press was like, oh, yeah. So they made a comic book that's a parody of my comic book. And it will probably be pretty hilarious, because that's what a parody is. Or at least what it's supposed to be. This idea of kind of like a rock and roll warrior. Someone in an altered state. Someone with a big guitar axe. And a pet cat that's from the hood. Just out of control. Speaking of out of control, there's his beard. It gets bigger and longer throughout the book until it takes on a fantastical life of its own. It's like, whoa! So, check it out. If you do, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it. But honestly, I didn't really do that much, other than rambling on about comics and books. I mean, comic books. Wait, what was I saying? Oh well. Enjoy. Beard Zerker from Parody Press. Back it today.
Well, I think we could tell that you were from California
Comic
from that
Sword.
clip alone. Because you were all, and I was all, and then he was all, and then she was all, and then I was all, and then you were all, and then I was all, you know? That's a classic Californian dialect.
Yeah, we love Keanu, and we basically take from his Bill and Ted days and make fun of John Wick, and you know, it'll be a good book. We have some cool covers lined up with Billy Tucci's he gave me permission to put She on a cover.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's awesome.
We got a couple other pretty big names I'll announce as we get closer to launching. But Preston Acevedo is doing one of our covers. You know him,
Oh my God.
Edwin. Are you related to Preston?
No.
Or you just
I
have the
like
same
to,
name?
Yeah, we spell it differently.
Oh, okay, that's right. Little bit of a difference. Is that a Spanish name?
Mine is, yes.
Nice. Hey, Jeff. Jeff Potts is in the room. Hey, Jeff.
Oh, hey.
What's up?
What's up?
Hey. Yeah, only thing missing from that trailer is him saying you're awesome.
You're breathtaking. You're breathtaking.
You're
you're
breathtaking.
breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. Yeah. Yeah, the breathtaking. That was great. Well, you know, he's so funny. Keanu is just a funny guy. Like, yeah, just what a life, you know? What a life.
Did you see him in Always Be My Maybe, the Netflix movie with the two Asian, kind of like a rom-com?
Oh, yeah,
with,
I read about that, but I did not see it.
he was really funny in that. He was like a boyfriend, and he played himself.
Yeah.
And he just kind of parodied himself in it. It was really funny.
Well, you know, like Tom Cruise, you know, you can question his acting sometimes, but my two favorite films that he ever did was, I thought he was great in Interview with a Vampire, and I thought he was great in Magnolia, where he did that kind of parody of himself. Do you remember his part in Magnolia? It was great.
Yeah.
It was so
man.
great. He was like a Tony Robbins motivational speaker.
Oh yeah.
Alpha
He
male,
was.
like how to be the alpha male. It was so good.
He was good in that movie with Robert Downey, the movie, the war, kind of the war movie where he played wasn't he like a movie producer in that one? Where Robert Downey Jr. was in blackface.
Tropic Thunder.
Jack Black. Right.
Tropic Thunder, yeah. I've actually never seen that. People say it's really funny, and I would imagine it is, but I've never seen it. All right, hey, let's do a little check-in. Mr. Diller, do you have anything you can show the people at home? Some progress on your
I've been sharing this the entire time. Nobody's been showing
Nobody
it.
can see it, though, because I haven't shared your work screen, I think.
But what the heck?
This is a professional broadcast, so let me find where your work screen is. Is this it?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, give us a good look at that.
Oh, I thought I was. Oh, wait.
No, it's my fault. Blame the host.
There you go.
Oh, whoa.
There
I
we
like
go.
that stance.
Cool.
I like that stance. It's a Bruce Lee.
It's the Bruce Lee stance.
It's the Jeet Kune Do. It's the Bruce
easy
Lee,
to
like
say,
Game
but
of Death.
It's hard to actually draw it, you know?
It's the way of the intercepting fist.
That's great.
Apparently, the chat demands justice for Dillard.
Why?
I'm working so hard. I'm doing my due diligence. I'm showing everybody the layout so they don't think that I'm tracing.
No, it's good.
And nobody's even showing it.
Well, you know what? This is a finely tuned broadcast, you know? So we do it our best. We do our best. All right, so we are gonna talk about campaigns. So let's see whatever we need to do to talk about the Ace, and then give you a little airtime. Then I'll talk about Tales of Zero, which we're launching on Thursday. So everybody in the chat, this hour and a half of entertainment with these fine people, I hope it inspires you to go check out my book, get on the pre-launch, and get that 3D poster, because it's my opinion, and from these fine people who have recently jumped in crowdfunding, that the first day really matters. So if you are thinking about backing Tales of Zero, I would really ask you to be a first day backer. That would make me and my team of one really, really happy. That sort of tells us, that there's somebody on the other end of the phone, that this campaign is going to be something, is going to grow. So anyway, anybody out there, we're only going to offer the 3D poster for first day backers. So get on it. And let's finish up with Edwin, though, about the state of your campaign. So you're just entering your second 30 days. The ace, we have a young man who follows a shooting star. He doesn't know what he's going to do with his life, but he encounters this sort of armor that he can inhabit and become this powerful being called the ace. But then the alien bounty hunter shark comes and says, I want the armor. And that's the setup for issue number 1.
Yep.
But then you have Angelique, right? You're teasing a villain for the next story, or how does she fit in?
She's gonna be the main villain for volume 2.
All right,
So
awesome.
I wanted a way to introduce her, so we did a little 4-page origin story drawn by the talented Hal Comics. He worked on the Masquerade from Lost Pages.
Oh yeah, he's wonderful. He is wonderful. He's one of the first people I started because I started, doing a lot of fan coloring, and so he's somebody that I colored a lot of their stuff early on. It's Alan Alonso. I colored a lot of him, and oh man, his style is so great. When you color somebody else's line art, you just see how good it is. You really get up close with it, and you can see like all the places where it really hits. So yeah, he's wonderful. I mean, he's the kind of person as a writer I would be like, dude, I would want him to draw a book for me.
Yeah,
totally.
You guys are fairly talented.
But so many of the people on your creative team, you just really covered a really broad section of really good people. I feel like, whether they were drawing stretch goal cards or whatever for you. So what are some of the other people who are on your team?
We have covered by Donald DeLay from Brutus, Cash Grab, colors by Theo Gonzalez, also worked on Brutus. So and I just actually added the cover as a poster for a limited time.
Yeah, I saw that.
I've been getting a lot of requests for that. So you have 30 days to get the poster. Once it goes in demand, that poster goes away. So does the Hardline Jam piece poster will also go away. So if you want either of those, get it now, because they won't be offered again. It'll just be very kind of more bare bones once it goes in demand.
Well, there's different seasons to this indie scene, and I feel like this season, like I said earlier, people who are doing their first time launches in this season, whether it's late fall, early winter, early spring, it's like we're going to see the repercussions of these things in the years to come. Which ones really hit, which ones connect with their readership, which ones fizzle out. So yeah, it's exciting. It's exciting to hear what your plans are for book number 2. And also having the shark, I think that was totally the thing. When I saw what you were doing, I was like, cool. I like armor, I like mech, I like to see anything like that. Then I saw the shark, and I was like, ooh, whoa, okay. I didn't expect that. That really opened up the world. I think that opened up the world of what it could be.
Yeah, Kulo's a lot of fun. I got a lot of cool stuff planned for him, so he's definitely going to be sticking around.
Yeah. He can be a periodic return. So everybody in TV land, if you haven't, check out the Ace. Back it. You still have 30 days, but don't wait. Always act promptly, unless you're going to back Tales of Zero first, which I understand. Priorities are important. But no, seriously, everybody check out the Ace and get on that. And let's.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is, now that we've unlocked a couple stretch goals, you'll be getting the Angelique trading card by Doodle Bags, drawn by Patrick for drawing. We've unlocked all 4 of the 6 a.m. stickers. So nice. As a backer, you're already going to be getting these things.
Oh, right. Yeah, other people did the heavy lifting to get it this far, right?
Yeah. And then so now you get to reap the benefits.
Yeah, you reap the benefits. All right. So this is a time for people to jump on late and get into it. Cool. Yeah, I'm super excited just to see where all these projects that are launching now. Somebody that I really like, I'm going to give him a massive shout out, is Julius Freeman.
Yep.
He's a writer of The Ghetto Dragon, another very Bruce Lee inspired book. It's a very Bruce Lee inspired book. But he's a really awesome person and a great first time creator who just, did his first campaign, and he's got plans for the next book, and he's helping other people with writing. So I just feel like there's a lot of talent that's gonna come online this season, and can't wait to see where it all leads to. I've got a couple books already in the works for after Tales of Zero. We have a few Tales of Zero ideas about where it's going to go next, but I actually have completely unrelated books I'm working on too that I'm excited to put out if we survive this first campaign, but I know we will. But the next one I'm going to do after this, not that anybody asked. But my next book is going to be a caveman book, and the art is already half complete, and the script is complete, and I'm just knocking it out with my my artist a page at a time. And so
Are you
it's going
doing
to
it
be
with
like,
Narwhal?
no, it's not. Narwhal and I talked about it because he posted, "Is anyone working on a caveman book?" So I showed him what I was doing, and then I wrapped a couple ideas with him back and forth. But Narwhal changes his mind every other day. Now he wants to do drug dealers, right? So Narwhal's awesome. He's someone I think is super inspiring. I love Narwhal, but he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But he did actually look at another idea I had in my caveman universe. So maybe someday Narwhal and I could write that story together. But no, this one I'm doing with Carlos. The artist is Carlos Rodriguez. He did a book called Otis Stein that was crowdfunded recently. His art is insane. I saw some pieces he did, and I contacted him right away because his inks look like wood cuts. I don't know if you can picture that. They look like they're carved in wood, and it's just insane. And so with the caveman story, I was like, "That's it, man. This is the guy." And then I showed him my script and my layouts, and we started to produce some pages. So that's super exciting. Hopefully, Tales of Zero after that will start promoting this one for the summer. But anyway, it's good. It's good to have creative things on the launch. You've got X-Farce and then Beardzerker coming. What about the Buckler? The Buckler, is that still in demand, or you have a store for that?
That is still in demand, yeah. While I'm working. I actually just finished, because remember I was going to do that 28-page one-shot if we got to 10K?
Yeah. Yep.
Just finished the inks and all the colors for it. So now I just got to do the lettering.
And you are a creative team of one for real?
Yes, I am.
Oh my gosh, that's so great.
He's a hard worker.
I did not think I was going to get to 10K. I was like,
yeah.
let me put this out there. At 10K, we're gonna do a whole nother book. You get a whole nother book for free.
Like, who's gonna draw it? Oh, you.
I did it. It's done.
That's
It's drawn now.
Yeah, well, I'm a writer and colorist and attempted letterer, but I still want to hire somebody better than me for the finished book. But that's the thing, when you can wear more than one hat, it actually saves you the money on the production side, so you can focus on the shipping and fulfillment. So that's a good thing. When you're the writer and the colorist or whatever, that's one less person that needs to be paid.
They all need to get paid.
No, I am both people, so I don't have to get paid.
Yeah,
so
I gotta pay my writer. I gotta pay my colorist. I gotta pay my inker.
Yeah, but I am the writer and the colorist. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah, I gotta get paid. Yeah.
Oh well, I know what you like. I'm going to pay you in gold, little tiny gold flakes that come.
I'll take it. I will take it.
You guys can pay me in Dogecoin. All right, I'm going to show
John.
you.
I got $88 in Doge. Don't knock the Doge.
I want some, man. I want some. Don't joke. I would do that. I want some Doge. All right, you're going to say something, Don?
Yeah, I was going to ask John, are you going to be? Oh, cool. I love it.
Coming together. It's coming together.
I love it. That's so cool. John, are you doing all the shipping on your book too, or do you have hiring some help for that?
No, I'm doing everything.
Oh man, we're gonna have. You know what we're gonna have to do? Let's do another show sometime where we just talk about lessons learned. That would be a fun show. Just be like, all right, here's what we did. Here's what I'm gonna do next time.
This is you can sum it all up like this: lesson learned. Always charge more than you think.
Okay, that's good. That's a good tip.
Always.
Mm-hmm.
My next campaign is going to be double the price.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you've shown that you are somebody who can fulfill, so you can charge the double the price. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, I just want people. I'm not going to lose money. I've done the math. I know that how I'm going to pay for everything. But it's like, and again, I'm a.
Oh no, I charge more than enough this time to pay for everything.
Yeah, but it's
but charge more anyway.
Yeah. I like
hey, John,
style.
are you on track on actually shipping in April?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Good job.
And I'm almost ready to sell my tiny house. It's almost finished.
Oh, really? You have a tiny house?
Yeah, I'm building one on a trailer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then you're going to sell it?
Yep. I'm actually going to go take it camping first, and then I'm going to sell it.
Nice.
Yeah, I just got like 400 Gemini mailers dropped off at my doorstep a couple weeks ago. They
Nice.
come in like a big box of like 50 pounds a piece. I had to schlep them into my house and
400? You got 400 backers?
No, I planned ahead. You know, you get a discount if you buy in bulk.
Oh, okay.
So
I was
the
like,
X-Farce
damn.
X-Farce right now, we're like at 100 with X-Farce, and then I have a mail order business anyway, so I'm always looking for decent shipping boxes for comics, and the Gemini mailers are quite sturdy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. What was your total number of backers, Mr. Dillard?
Oh, 255.
That's great. That's
very
pretty
healthy.
great, man. And where are you at right now, Edwin? With backer numbers?
I think 129.
Oh
Last
my
time I
God, that's
checked.
great. Oh my God,
Look
I
at
know
you guys.
if I cross 100, I'll feel like I hit the lottery. You know what I mean? Just because like you got to prove you are somebody, and so yeah, I'm excited. So if I can hit that, I'll feel like I did great for my first time out. All right, so,
I learned something.
Yeah,
I learned something on the campaign. Because when you do the Indiegogo campaign, you have to kind of learn their whole the way that they do the pages, and you import the artwork, and then you have your different tiers, and you have to have graphics for your tiers. I didn't know until a week ago that I could switch out and update my main campaign instead of just on the updates. So for the longest time, my campaign page was static for like the last 45 days. And then I realized, how are other people updating their graphics so they look like they're not, day one? And I said, oh, all I have to do is modify my campaign page. And lo and behold, I did that. And I felt like such a dummy because I didn't think that I could change it from the time that I launched it. I only thought I could do it through updates. But anyways, I won't make that mistake again.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm like I say, I'm launching Thursday, so any sage advice anybody has for me, I'm open to hear it. On one hand, I could, get on somebody's stream and try to really push that way, But I also just feel like I don't know. A lot of people have been very generous to me, and I don't want to put all my hopes on one person. Oh, I need to be on your stream when I launch so I can do this. I kind of want to make it a little bit on my own steam, and then with the generosity of many others. Like Mandy Summers, Piper, people like that have been very generous with me. And just and just slow growth, man. I'm happy to grow slow. Let people figure out what I'm about, and then they can believe that.
Yeah. Keep your expectations realistic. I think
totally.
all of us are kind of like the Comics Gate B team. I think Dillard and I call ourselves
I just think the whole thing is like.
Well, I call myself the D-lister.
The D-lister. Nice. Well, I don't even, I call myself the unknown, the unknown Smurf. Like, who am I? I'm nobody. But I just think, sometimes the story, the book, that's what sells. Again, if my next comic is about a caveman, and the next comic is going to about, people come to figure out eventually that, oh, if I'm writing it, it's going to be this. It's going to be good, And I can write about a caveman. I can write about space, Indiana Jones. I can write about whatever. But it's going to be good. There's just that fundamental storytelling ability that is going to come through. And that's where it's at. People like people whose brand is just their name, like Narwhal. I love Narwhal. Does anyone care what Narwhal's real name is? I don't. You just know it's going to be Narwhal. That's all. And so I feel like for me, my name is on the campaign, but really you don't have to know my name. You're just going to know that if it's a purple Smurf, it's going to be this, that's what it's going to be. So
that
it's
works.
Kind of fun because people can be a little crazy on the internet sometimes about comics. I don't know if you ever saw that. People can get a little crazy.
I was going to ask Dillard something because he's kind of further along than most of us that are, kind of newbies. John, what do you charge for international shipping?
I charge $10 domestic and $17 international across the board.
Oh wow, that's pretty reasonable. What do you? How do you ship internationally? With like,
Well, the thing is, I've
obviously the
never
post office.
shipped a comic book bundle internationally, but I have shipped artwork because I do commissions. I've shipped stuff to New Zealand, to Norway, Australia, and it seems about sometimes it gets a little dicey, but on average, when I'm sending an 11 by 17 in a top loader along with some swag and stuff like that, it averages around $17 every time I do it. So
Wow. Do you
so
do you send it just like first class
yep,
international or okay?
yep.
That's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, that is. Pretty
Yeah, I
good.
don't do any kind of rush shipping. I just international, cheapest way possible, first class, whatever they do.
And then on your actual domestic, are you going media mail or priority mail?
Priority mail.
Okay,
All right,
that's
I'm
what
gonna
I'm doing too.
I'm gonna put up my art. I'm gonna put up my art piece, and then I'm actually gonna talk for a little bit about my book since we're launching Thursday, and I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna hype up my book a little bit, which isn't my normal zone because, like I say, I was talking to Edwin when we first launched. I'm like, Edwin, what are you up to? And he's like, oh, I have a day job, and then I make comics. That's all I do. I'm like, gee, me too, right? That's all of us.
Well, if you want some sage advice,
Oh, I'm ready.
put on a pair of sunglasses
All right.
to give yourself that distance that you need
nice.
from the viewer,
Okay.
and you are your entire media machine. So every time you go on somebody's show, be as bombastic as you can be.
Okay. All right,
Because
I'm gonna do
nobody cares. Because who are you? You're nobody. You're a purple Smurf.
that. That's right. That's the way I
But
like it.
you are the only one that's going to be selling your stuff.
That's right.
And you need to go in there and whoever show it is and take over the show. Because believe me, they love it. If they can have a show and they can sit back and just
Sit back and someone else
do this,
Okay.
that's what they love.
Thank you for that.
And
advice.
they will invite you back.
Thank you for that advice. I will totally think on that because it's my house. This is me and my show. I like my show to be super chill. But you're right. They want content. They want entertainment. They want, you're right. They can sit back and let you sort of work the crowd. So yeah, I see your point. All right. I'm gonna take that under advisement. I can get crazy.
Don't get crazy on me.
No, well, all right. So here we go. I'm gonna show my piece, and then I'm gonna talk about Tales of Zero. Okay, I think you can see that.
Yeah, awesome, man. That is too cool.
That's great.
Yeah, I mean,
I might
it's
have to
cartoon.
buy that from you, man.
Oh, I'm very expensive. You know what you could do? Well, yeah. You know what, Miss? If you back my campaign, I will send this to you for free.
Okay, you got a deal, buddy. You got a deal.
That's all I ask. Because all the money in the world I want is just to bring my book to the people. So, yeah, there you go. So this is me. In 1986, I was my favorite comics were the X-Men, New Mutants, X Factor, old back issues of Power Pack, Squadron Supreme, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the Hamsters. So there you go. The X-Men.
You don't seem that old, man. You seem like you have a young voice.
I am. I'm a youthful person, but yeah, I was
You were
11
around.
in 1986. So you can you know what? People. Actually, this might be a fun thing to show. I'll tell you one of the most influential things in my world was this.
Oh, there you go, buddy. Yeah.
Okay.
Bill Sienkiewicz.
People younger than me. Maybe you've never read Bill Sienkiewicz's run on the New Mutants, but there's no single work in comics that has moved me like this did. And when you see the art style that I have on Tales of Zero, and you ask yourself questions like, well, why did you do that? Why did you leave the color? Why did you let the color go across the line? Or why did you do that? Why did you let the halftone dots, but they didn't actually stay where they're supposed to go? And they it's like, because when you look at this and you look at a lot of Marvel comics from this era, that happened all the time. The halftone dots went off the figure where they shouldn't have been. The red and the yellow didn't line up, and that looked fantastic. It looked great. One of the biggest crimes in the world is you take the Sienkiewicz in the floppy and you look at how rich everything is, I don't know if any of this comes through.
Yeah.
But everything is so rich and everything is so scratched out. Look at that. Look at that face,
Yeah, I love Sienkiewicz.
Look at Cannonball getting out of the thing. And it's like This was amazing. And then when you see this, and look at Cannonball getting out of the water there, right?
Yeah.
When you buy this in the
the
trade paperback,
reflection.
you see how scratchy the blacks are? See how you can see all this stuff through the black? When you buy this in the trade paperback, he's one solid color.
Oh, that's too
And
bad.
it looks awful.
Yeah.
This is one of the greatest runs in comics. And if you look in the trade paperback, all the colors are just solid. There's none of that blurring, like when the color would clump and drip in these weird ways. And it's just so amazing. So when I show you some art from Tales of Zero, you know, some people will be like, well, you didn't even draw that line. And this thing doesn't even go there. And it's a mindset of where I'm coming from, because those layers that Sienkiewicz and actually almost all Marvel comics had back then, there was like 3 different color layers and they didn't always hit right. And when they missed, you got more colors. It was the accidents actually gave additional dimension. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got more colors. And those other colors that were the accidental colors, those were the ones that like kicked it into such a high level. So anyway, let me show you some stuff about my campaign. I'm going to turn my camera off and then we'll talk about Tales of Zero for a little bit. What did I just do? Is this it? There we go. All right, cool. All right, I'm going to share my screen and show you some stuff. First of all, when I did this book, I wanted to have a variant by Pablo Romero. That was a goal for me. So I commissioned him to draw me this cover, and I wanted this cover to look like the role-playing game modules from about 1985. And they had this sci-fi garish pulp style with bright 80s colors, and they would get worn. You'd have them in your backpack and they would get worn. You know, a corner of the monster manual would be dog-eared. Do you know what I'm talking about? You kept your monster manual in your backpack in 1986. Well, anyway, you might know what I'm talking about. So let me show you how this actually perfectly... Oh, that's nice. Look at that. Clint. You're right. It's going to be photorealistic Clint. I'm going to highlight Dillard for just a second. I'm going to take myself off the big... Dillard, let's put up that Clint. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's awesome. Look at that.
There you go.
Got some great...
It's going to be great when it's finished.
Oh, yeah. I might buy it off you. All right, let me share my screen and I'll show you some of this stuff. So take a look.
Dancing Queen?
Yeah, that was Dancing Queen. Right. So take a look at this. What do you think? Do you see what I'm talking about? Can you see that? Am I sharing it? I can't tell what I'm sharing. Oh, no, I want to go bigger than that. How do I make that bigger? I don't know if I can do that bigger. Hey, there we go. So take a look at that. I don't know if you can see it in detail, but you see the colors, those certain reds and yellows and the purples. And if you can, let me try to zoom in and
Yeah.
show you some spots where
Yeah, I see the dot pattern on the dot.
yeah, like where it's worn out. You know, like you get this area here. Like that's just what those things look like. And those dots, the way those kind of just eat into the color. And this kind of chunkiness here. And then the dog, look at the dots on the dog. That's it right there. Oh my gosh, that burned in spot, you know? And so I did this, you know, Pablo did some colors, but then I did my own set of colors. So this is his lines and my riffing on his colors. So it's just, this is the kind of thing I'm going for. It's like a very textured, and you can see things are a little bit imperfect. Things don't go all the way to the lines. They cut short, they overlap. But here we have our character. So our story begins in a bar on this futuristic mining colony, and these two guys are the out of work construction workers, and they built the mining colony. But now that it's done, the new generation of kids like this have moved in, and to build it, they got the construction workers hooked on this stimulant, which is called the juice. But now they can't make enough money to get the juice, and if they stop drinking the juice, they age and their metabolism shuts down. So our hero, our main character Zero, and his buddy Asilo are here, and this young guy with the dog comes up, and he says, you know, I've never even been outside. I've lived my whole life in this colony. You guys, you know, you helped build it. You must know all the secrets. And so Zero says, well, I know one secret. You know, if you follow me out into the jungle, there's this golden statue, and if we could grab this golden statue from the alien ruins, you know, I'd have juice money for life, and we could get out of here and make a life for ourselves. So that's the setup of the story, is that they're going to go into the alien jungle to get the golden frog statue. And it's based on a short story by the writer Clark Ashton Smith, who was a friend and compatriot of H.P. Lovecraft, but we call him the California Lovecraft. And I made a video on that. It's on my YouTube channel. You should watch it sometime.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, so the California Lovecraft, like, he's amazing. His books and his stories are amazing. So this is a send-up of his universe. His character was called Satampra Zeros, and he was featured in 2 stories. And so my character Zero is the diesel punk, grease monkey, sci-fi version of where the character Satampra Zeros that Clark Ashton Smith invented was more in a fantasy sort of a swashbuckler. So I've made mine a little more gritty and grimy. And then, like a lot of characters from those early pulp days, the characters are public domain, so anyone could take Satampra Zeros and write them into a story or whatever. So, I'm taking those basic elements from Clark Ashton Smith's stories, but then I'm just creating a universe around it. So this is the variant cover, and that's going to be available on this campaign only. Let me see if I can show you our campaign page. This is it. I hope.
Hey, Ryan Wynn's in the chat. He said hi.
All
Hey,
right.
homies.
Hey, Holmes. Good to see you. I enjoyed watching you draw scorpions earlier. It was fantastic. So, so this is the regular. Let me see if I can show the actual campaign page. All right, so here's a little draft of the actual campaign, okay? So this is some sample art. If you read the horror comics of the 60s and 70s, I think you'll recognize this, like, heavy blacks, the, halftone dots, and the kind of, like, pulp style that my artist has kind of captured beautifully. And then this is
I don't think you're sharing that, are you? I don't.
Oh,
I still see the cover.
Oh, hold on. Thanks. You're helping
Sorry,
me.
bro. I just wanted to make.
No, you're helping me. Let me fix that for you. Thank you. We're all yeah. All right, let's try that again. Okay. Let's see if you can see it now. Now, what are you seeing?
Purple Smurf. Did you like Lichtenstein's artwork?
Oh yeah, I mean, but even that, I think the funny thing about Lichtenstein is he was a copy of a copy, right? So he was trying to bring to the fine art world that dot pattern thing. But I think what he was trying to say was that dot pattern thing is culture. That's the funny thing. Like those pulp detective magazines in the 40s, Western comics, trashy romance comics, superhero comics, horror comics. I don't know if you guys know, but comics in the 40s were intense. The violence and the sexual innuendo, and it was not like a kinder, gentler nation in comics in the 40s, and that's why they had to have the comics code by the end of the 50s. So you go back and look at the stuff from the 40s, and it is it's really incredible. No wonder parents were mad, man. Some of it's really intense. It's Tarantino-esque levels of shock. Big thing with them. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is, I think what Lichtenstein was saying was that this is culture. It was looked down on, but no, this is what your kids are reading. This is what your husbands are reading. This is culture. This is culture. So I as much as like Lichtenstein, I much prefer to look at the actual comics from the 40s. And Ryan, we're glad you're here. All right, let me see if I can get this screen share to work this time.
Oh, hey, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan Wynn. They were drawing scorpions earlier, and it was incredible. Okay. Let's see. I think I'm going to share you should be able to see, perhaps, is this that look like the actual campaign page? All right, good deal. So, it's my first time doing this. So you go on to the campaign, you see the standard cover. This is by Elliot Rodriguez. This is the same image in the 3D poster, but it's a color version. I colored it, and it's $25 for the 48-page graphic novel. That's totally a good deal because it's an amazing story and the artwork is incredible. The Pablo Romero variant is going to be $10 more, $35, and then you can get both, because you might need both, for $45. So that's like a double deal. Everybody ought to do that, and that'll be the featured tier. Then we just did this new thing where we're going to do a black and white edition, and this we're going to call the Extra Pulp edition. So it's going to be black and white interiors with this cover by Apex Comics, who was a guy, Brent Cantrell, who is just a really incredibly distinctive artist. He's really, really old school. Everything is by hand. Everything's with pens. And his style is kind of like Gil Kane meets Frank Zappa. So I just love, this is a personal thing about me. I love inkers with an idiosyncratic style that when you see their inks, you go, oh, I know that guy. I know that guy. To me, an inker whose style is immediately recognizable is like a guitar player whose strumming pattern is recognizable. It's like when you're so distinctive that when you pick up a guitar, I know it's you. And so to me, ink has that quality. So I love Apex Comics, Brent Cantrell, and we may team up on a little Ashcan as well, which we'll announce this weekend. So there's going to be an Ashcan added to this tier as well. But then if you want to be, go all in, you can get all three for $75, which means you basically got all three at the cover price of the standard. So that's really all we're going to do. As the campaign rolls on, I'm going to do a fan art book with behind the scenes, and I say we're adding an Ashcan. But I feel like if I deliver the standard cover and deliver the variant, and if we do the black and white and a few little odds and ends, that's a lot to fulfill. But let me walk you through some of the artwork. So you can see, if you've read, EC comics and the horror comics of the 70s, even DC, like House of Mystery, House of Suspense, all the Marvel and DC horror comics from the early 70s were awesome. And this is a style very much in that, book in that style. This is something that I really like. I like the sense when you're looking into this image that you can sense the moisture and the steaminess of it, and it feels a little bit dirty, I like the grime of this sort of stuff. And then here we see the storyteller is Zero, and this is him in his studio telling you the story. Oh, let me tell you about the time that I went to get the frog statue. Oh yes, it was so. And you get the idea here that he made off with the loot and now is living this glamorous life because he does have all the money for all the juice he wants. So every story that is framed by him telling you, this is something that happened to me. Sit down and let me tell you about it. Because here he's got all the juice he can drink. His lifespan at this point is, undeterminate because the juice constantly makes you about, 10 or 15 years younger. But the setup of this is, how I lost my hand. So you see he's got this prosthetic hand, and the whole story is about how he lost his hand. So that's a campaign in a nutshell. It's pretty basic. Let's watch the trailer. Actually, let's make sure the trailer has sound. I'm not the best, like you said, John. I'm not the best at hyping myself, but we learn.
It's good. I haven't felt like I needed to interject.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
well, let's watch.
you're doing great.
Awesome. Well, this trailer, I decided to make it 1 minute long. Let's see how I did. Let's get back to the beginning. Some of these are just work in progress pages that we had when we made the trailer, but some of the art really will be this gritty, Not quite that gritty, but some of it is, the grit will be there. So that's the trailer, and then and it's 1 minute, just sort of showing you what you're going to get. You're going to get sort of a sci-fi heist gone wrong. This party goes to the jungle to take this sacred idol from the alien temple. What could possibly go wrong? Well, everything, right? And it's it's sort of like Raiders of the Lost Ark meets Alien, because you have this archaeological thing that they're going to find this relic, but then you have the same setup as an Alien or Aliens, where there's a point at which your protagonists realize they've stepped in a situation that's way out of their league to handle, and that's when the story gets good, when they realize that they're completely out of their league. I'm going to show you one more thing, which I think is a close-up on the wraparound cover, I think, and then we'll get back to. Oh yeah, so check this out. So this is not the finished colors on this. This was like a third draft colors, but I'm just going to show it to you. Then the lettering too. But this shows you what the wraparound cover, basically is going to look like. It's very like 50s drive-in horror movie feel to it, which I really love. And Brett's inks, they're really something. I think this is a JPEG or whatever, so it's not going to capture everything. But even this, I think if I zoom in, you'll see something that the more I go, the more there is.
I think you're still.
What am I looking at here?
Oh,
Yeah,
did I
you
not
have
do
it.
this again? Oh man, I'm
It's
learning.
okay,
man.
bro. I
Yeah, it's
boomer
okay.
it all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's so funny because it's like you share the screen, but then you're like, oh wait, I'm not sharing that screen. Sorry guys, let me show you this. Thank you guys, John. Jump in there. Yeah, help us Murph out.
I do like that piece though. The guy looking at us.
Oh yeah,
Let me
well
tell you a story.
the line art is Matt Queen, and he is just simply incredible, you know. And so he does the pencils, and then I take it from there. And so his pencils are just they're unbelievable. He can do.
So
like
you're
he said,
launching this in the
we're
next
launching on
week, correct?
Thursday. This Thursday.
Thursday,
2
and
days.
then when do you anticipate it being finished?
Oh, I think what I'm going to do is, you know, all the story is done. Every page is done. It's just a matter of doing the finish lettering, finish this. So every page just needs to be kind of like brought to that print level quality. So I have a Tales of Zero Twitter account, and I'm going to post each page as it gets done, you know, not without the letters. And so people will be constantly having progress, but I'll have it done. It'll be done and ready to ship, you know, by the time the campaign ends. Because the book is
Good.
done. It just needs to that final layer of final pass of, you know, colors and effects and glows and this and that, and then, you know, all this sort of last minute sort of touches to make the pages print ready, and then final pass lettering. So yeah, the book is done. We'll be ready to ship when the campaign ends, no doubt about it. You know, and I want to get on to something else. So yeah, I wouldn't have come this far without the book already written. You know.
Yeah, good.
Let me. I was showing you something. I was going to show you this. I think I was going to show you the wraparound cover. Now are you seeing it? Oh yeah, there we go. So let me see if I can bring that back for you. So this is the wraparound cover, you know, for the black and white edition. It's like a 50s horror movie, you know.
Yeah.
Like a monster manual sort of vibe. But you know, the whole idea of this, you know, they're here with them, you know, in this temple, and then all of a sudden some shape-shifting monster is after them. It's just a classic sort of sci-fi setup. But then if you look at Brett's inks, this is a JPEG. It's not even a TIFF or a ping. So, but watch what happens when I zoom in. Watch what happens when I zoom in. This is crazy. And you look at his shoulder, and then you see what I'm seeing here. You see there's a moment right there where stuff just, it's like, and I'm not even zooming in all the way. On the ting or the TIFF or the ping, the deeper you get into these inks, the deeper they are. Like they don't stop. It's just incredible, you know? Look at every one of those lines. I want you to think about how many lines those are, right? All done by hand, and it's I love it. And I think with the chunky style of colors, it just really brings you that pulp sort of 50s.
It feels old.
It doesn't it? That's exactly what I want. I remember what your boy Zach. Remember he said about the first Iron Sights. He said he wanted it to feel like a comic you found in a dirty Tijuana bathroom.
Yeah.
I have a very similar feeling for this, except I want it to be the comic you found in the mining colony on Zeta 3 where the story happened. So these people, like, they went through the mud, they went through, you know, and like when you pick up this comic, I want it to feel like, man, this comic's been through something. So the weathered and the beaten kind of look to me is part of it. You know, it looks old. It looks like, you know, from another place in time. And the weathered and worn look is part of it. So yeah,
It kind of feels like one of those nostalgic old trading cards that, you know, you'd love to get. You know, those old school sci-fi trading cards that not quite Mars Attacks, but you know what I'm talking about, like from the
that's it. Those 50s sci-fi movies. I think this really has that vibe as well. So anyway, that's the basic gist of the campaign. Like I say, when we reach our goal and move into the next round, we're probably going to do a fan art book with behind the scenes layouts and concept art, and then I will be announcing an ash can that everyone who backs this layer, the black and white, we're going to call this the extra pulp. You know, like your orange juice has extra pulp. This is like your extra pulp layer, where it's like the comic is the cover's over the top. It's black and white. And then we're going to have an ash can that everyone who backs this year gets the ash can. And then we're also going to give the ash can to everybody who backs. And this hasn't been announced yet, but I'll announce it Thursday. Everybody who backs in the first weekend. So no matter what tier you get, you're going to get the ash can if you back before Sunday. So that's it. That's the thing. But the book is really, really fun. And it's a good read. I call it a coffee table book. I feel like if you leave it on your table and someone comes over, they're going to pick it up and they're going to be like, hold on, give me a minute. You know, it has that quality that once you're 4 or 5 pages in, you just want to finish it. You don't want anyone to bother you. You know, it's simple. It's a simple story, and it just pulls you in. All right, I just pumped my comic for a while. That's pretty good.
That's good. Is it all ages? Purple
Yeah,
Smurf,
yeah. I
or
mean,
is it-
I compare it to Raiders of the Lost Ark and Aliens. It has the exact gore factor of those movies, right? So, I mean, I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark when I was 7, 8, or 9 years old, and I didn't even like horror movies back then. So, yeah, it's what you would have seen in a movie like Raiders of the Lost Ark or Alien back in the day. All right, now let's take a look at what you got there, Mr. John Dillard.
Okay, give me 1 second here. Let me get rid of this sketch.
that is too cool.
That's where we're at right now.
It's really good,
That's
man.
awesome.
Right? It's
I like
really good.
That's awesome.
I like he's kind of weathered, you know. He's
Oh
kind of
yeah, he's like a hamster, right? He shaved his face. He shaved his face, but it's like you're gonna have scarring, you know, because you can't shave your entire face with all those contours and come out clean, you know.
No, I like
That's
it.
awesome.
He's like the Clint who's seen some shit. I like that. All right,
Almost
well,
feels like
He's like
go
a
ahead.
teenager that is barely learning how to shave, but he ain't got no daddy to teach him, you know.
I love the nose too. It's right. It's rocking the ears. It's so good. It's got a
it's like
great
insane clown posse.
sense. Yeah, it's just great. Yeah. Oh man.
Thank
All right,
you,
well,
John. That's awesome, man.
it is. Well, I like to try to end on time, so we're gonna end at 1 a.m. That's in 3 minutes. So Edwin Acevedo, thank you so much for being with us, and congratulations on reaching your goals and still going farther in the next 30 days. You know, I want to drop this idea to you, Edwin. I have an idea. This is a crazy idea, but I feel like, you know, there's Gunship Thunder Punch, there's Wyatt Holiday's Eternal Armor, there's the Ace. I feel like we need a kind of giant robot / armored. That needs to be a whole subgenre, you know, and all the creators who work in the giant robot armor subgenre need to link arms. You know what I mean? Because I just think it's happening. It's so cool to see that genre have so many good ideas bursting forth in it. So that's all right, Ryan. I'm going to show my picture now. Don't be disappointed. I don't know if you saw it earlier, but you know it's not going to be as good. But you know, we'll see if I can actually do this. But anyway, then we're going to wrap up in 2 minutes. And also, thank you, John, and everybody. If you haven't backed the Buckler, you got to do that. You got to do that. It's one of the only books I feel like where the protagonist is a super villain, right?
That's
no one's
correct.
doing that. I know, like that seems like, and the way you set it up and everything, it sounds so good. It sounds so compelling and fresh, like not something we've heard before. So let me see if I can share my screen, and you can see.
And don't get it twisted, because my next IP is where it's gonna be. It's gonna have beautiful naked big titty women riding dinosaurs, equipped with fully automatic weapons, versus beautiful naked big titty women in Twisted Metal style post-apocalyptic automobiles equipped with fully automatic machine guns.
I don't know, man.
And what's the name of this?
What's the working title?
It's called Dino Titties.
All right. So Ryan, I hope you enjoyed my cartoony style of the hamsters as the X-Men. Got Chuck as Wolverine, Jackie.
Make the screen big there, Purple.
Oh yeah, you can't.
We
see
have
it?
the small version.
Nah, it's good the way it is.
Yeah, it's good. All right, so here we go. Got Nightcrawler, Jackie and Bruce, Clint is Cyclops, and then Chuck is Wolverine. So yeah, I'll send that to you, Don. This is
Thanks, man. I will back you. But
thank you so much. I really appreciate it, and I'll send it to you.
Save on the shipping for me.
Oh yeah, all right. I'll probably send it to you before then. But anyway, thank you so much, Don. This has been awesome. We're at 1 o'clock, and I want everyone. I got to get to bed. I got to get to work.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. But everybody out there in TV land, support these excellent creators. And this is the year, man. Nothing's standing in our way right now. All these indie people with their dreams, something they want to bring, a story they want to tell. It's in our hands, man. Let's not lose this opportunity. So, thanks everybody.
Amen.
Thanks for being on my show,
right.
and we'll be back. And come on and back Tales of Zero when we launch on Thursday. All right.
Tales of Zero.
Right. Tales of. Oh, and we do have a tease. I should tease it. We're gonna have an audio comic.
Don't
Tales
tease
of
me,
Zero.
baby.
And Dillard is one of the voices. All right, just that's a preview. We're gonna drop that in. All right, you guys. Later, everybody. See you
Later. Bye-bye.
Bye.